God, Emmanuel. Interesting question. How do the banks make money from the farmers' protest?
Oh, massive. First of all, they will play the stock market. So what the farmers are actually doing right now is blocking the roads, which is exactly what the globalists want. They want to hurt the economy. And the easiest way to hurt an economy is to shut the roads down. Transport, cars, vans, that sort of stuff is one of the most powerful tools to build an economy. Model T Ford built America. If it wasn't for that, America would still be riding horses and would not be a power corporation that it is today. So, yes. So what you would do if you want to cripple an economy is you block the roads, you stop transport, traffic, that sort of stuff. And that's exactly what the farmers are doing because they're blocking the roads. So if you know this in advance, then you bet against it. So they are going to make big money on the stock market. And if you follow some of the financial channels, YouTube channels, they will tell you there's a lot of movement going on in the stock market and people are dumping stocks. So that's one of the ways they do it. But they also do other things. A lot of legislation is not known to the people, not disclosed, and is normally passed behind locked doors, closed doors, so you don't know what's going on. So no one has the pieces of the puzzle, all of the pieces of the puzzle. So no one knows exactly what's going on. So yeah, all sorts of legislation is being passed. But the farmers are doing exactly what the globalists want them to do. And that, trust me, they're making money on this.
Okay, but Pete, the globalists also have to eat, okay? They also have to drink. They must drink their beers. They also have to eat their meat and so on and so on. Yeah. So if there's disruption, is going to affect the globalists themselves as well. So
it won't affect them.
Why won't it affect them?
Because if you're worth $100 billion, do you think you're going to struggle to get a beer? Of course not. Do you think you're going to struggle to get a steak? No, not at all. You could have it flown in. Get your helicopter. Go and get me a Big Mac.
But assuming all the farmers in all the countries in all the world, most of them are doing it. Yeah. Would that
most of them, not all of them. If you're a multi-billionaire and you're in America, and let's say all the farmers decide not to farm in America,
okay,
you want to get a steak, get it shipped in from England, wouldn't you?
Unless there's farmers protesting in England, I suppose. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not all farmers are doing it.
Okay.
Like I say, if you've got money, it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah. The trouble is you can't eat money, I suppose. Yeah, they probably have their own private
You can buy food with it.
Yeah. They probably have their own private farms as well, where they grow their own vegetables and then food, I guess.
Of course they do. We all know they've got bunkers. They've got.
But then, Pete, so are we saying that protests? How do we draw attention to issues that needs attention drawn to it in the first place? If we can't protest, can't sign petitions, how on earth do we make the public aware of the injustices in our society then?
Well, there's a lot to unpack there. First of all, there is no society.
Okay,
we'll get to that later.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
We'll get to that another week. But here's the thing. We don't need to draw attention to it. All these farmers, all they have to do is ignore the government. Go away. Get on with farming. That's as simple as it is. So you just say, I'm not going to do it. The farmers have got the power. The truckers have got the power. But they don't. They protest. And don't protest. You see, if you protest, then you're accepting the obligation, aren't you? And that's the trap. So these farmers are protesting because they're saying, oh, the government's trying to shut us down because of the, man-made global warming regulation nonsense and all the rest of it. Don't listen. Go away, government. We're just going to farm. It's that simple.
But if the farmers just ignore the government and just carry on with their work, aren't they then by tacit agreement agreeing to whatever the government is saying? And the laws they're instituting by not responding, by just a tacit agreement.
Not that way. Because here's what you do. Let's say someone from the council says to the farmer, from now on, you can't use a certain type of fertilizer.
Right.
Well, that farmer should turn around and say, okay, you've got 30 days to give me the obligation why I've got to listen to you. It's game over because the person from the council has got nothing. And then after 30 days, the farmer hasn't acquiesced, but he says, well, I've given you 30 days. You haven't given the obligation to even listen to you. Bye-bye, go away. And now you go on farming. So, yeah. So if you completely ignore it, yeah, the government will carry on because it means you didn't say anything. But if you serve notice and you go, well, hang on a minute, why do I have to, why can't I use this certain type of fertilizer? I've got 30 days. Where's the obligation for me to stop using it? Doesn't exist. Then they've got to go away. I mean, if the farmers just turn around and says, look, government, we know you're a corporation. Where's the contract between us and you? And the government's going to go, oh, well, there isn't one. And the farmers are going, oh, there's no contract. Jog on then. Go away. Yeah, I mean, if the truckers really wanted to do something, what they should have done is got rid of the number plates, deregistered the trucks, ripped up their driver's license, said, don't want it, bye-bye. I've took the number plate off, bye-bye. I'm no longer paying the duty and the VAT on the fuel anymore. I'm just going to pay for the fuel. And I'm not charging VAT anymore. I'm not doing all the rest of the nonsense. All the red tape now goes in the bin. Bye-bye. Not going to do it. That's it. Checkmate. Government's lost. The truckers and the farmers have got the power. All the truckers have to do, what they should have done, instead of block the roads, what they should have done is worked even harder to deliver the stuff. And the truckers should have said, you know what, we're going to make sure we deliver it. We're going to help the small businesses. That's what we're going to do. So if you're a small business and you're struggling, we will deliver your stuff. And we're going to do it at half price because we're not paying the cut to the government anymore. And that's going to build the local economy up, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's how you win. You win because you don't play the game.
The same thing with the Canadian truckers as well, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, the same thing with them. They're all doing it, blocking the roads. Don't block the roads. It was
Don't block
really
the roads.
depressing.
Right. Okay.
Because it only hurts a small person, doesn't it? Look, if you're a multi-billionaire, right, and the truckers block the roads for a couple of months, do you care? You go, no, I'll just fly to a nice island and go on holiday for a bit. What do I care? But if you're a single mother and you've got to get to your job to pay your rent, and now the roads are blocked and you can't get to your work and you're not going to get paid, it hurts her, doesn't it?
Yeah. You're buggered.
Yeah, think of it, look at it this way. We've all seen the stop oil idiots gluing themselves to the roads.
Yeah.
And the frustration it puts on the motorists because they're saying, I can't get to my job. I'm going to be late for work and I can't pay my bills.
Yeah.
You multiply that by all the truckers and the and the tractors. How many millions of people are getting their lives tipped upside down? They can't get to work now. They can't do business trips. They're losing out.
Just one thing about the Stop Oil protests. You mentioned that the Stop Oil protests are funded by the oil companies.
Yes.
Okay. Why on earth would they be doing that? Is it just to draw attention to themselves, or please explain the logic behind that, Pete? Because
well, it's here it is. They are working in league with the government. Okay, all companies and governments, they all work together on this. It's a big, massive scam. The oil companies realized that if they actually demonized their own product, they could put the price up and the people wouldn't care because they would be demonizing the oil companies. So the way it works, oil companies demonize themselves to get these stop oil companies to protest and all the rest of it and say, oh, it's causing global warming, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Then the MPs step in and say, oh, yeah, well, we're going to have to do something about this man-made global warming stuff, blah, 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 blah. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the prices up of the petrol. And then people fall for it. Oh, thanks, government. You now cost me more to get to work. Oh, thank you. Now, the thing is that the government, here's the thing. Oil companies love electric cars. Love them. They are salivating over electric cars. Please get electric cars out there.
Why?
Tell you why. Because electric cars need electricity to run. Now, electricity can only be generated. You have to generate electricity. You can't scoop it out the air or go down to a lake and get a bucket of electricity. You have to generate it. And the only way to generate electricity is to use a fuel. So you have to burn a fuel, which is a hydrocarbon, to generate the electricity that then goes in the electric car. Guess what the hydrocarbon is? Natural gas, oil, coal.
All right. So
and you end up using more, because if you know your physics, if you convert one form of energy to another form of energy, you lose some of the original energy. So if you use oil to create electricity, you lose 50% of that energy. And then you use electricity to drive an electric car, you lose another 30% with an electric car. So it will always cost you more to run an electric car. Always. Laws of physics, laws of economics. And you will always end up using more oil if you run an electric car than if you just drove a normal internal combustion engine. Have you seen the YouTube clips of this is a joke. This is like, I couldn't believe it. They're using diesel generators to charge the Teslas and the electric cars.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
The oil companies are laughing their heads off.
All right.
They're loving it.
Buggers. Oh, God.
Because I'm not kidding you. I have literally seen a Tesla driver driving along with a tow hook, and he's got a generator on the back of his car, which is literally an internal combustion engine, charging his battery up as he's driving along. He's retarded. The oil companies are laughing their heads off because people are so stupid.
Right. Thank you. All right. Thanks, Pete. All right. Cheers.
No worries, bud. No worries.
All right. Cheers.
Perfect subject for you, huh, Pete?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I've done a presentation on EVs and why they're a scam.
So we've got Lawrence